Have you ever sat down to create and suddenly you feel empty? Not tired, not lazy, empty? Like the flow is gone, like your voice went quiet, like your ideas got stuck behind a wall you cannot name. And then you start doing what we all do when we feel stuck. You start looking around, you start scrolling, you start watching what everybody else is doing. And before you know it, you are not creating anymore. You are comparing. That right there is the killer of creativity. Welcome to the Becoming Her podcast. I am Faye, and around here, we are not building our lives off trends, pressure, or performance. We are becoming who God designed us to be on purpose. Today, we are talking about the killer of creativity, and I am going to say it plain. Comparison will shut you down. It will drain your creative flow. It will make you question what God already put in you. And if you let it stay, it will slowly train you to copy instead of create. Here is how comparison kills creativity. First, it steals your focus. The moment you start comparing, your mind drifts away from what actually matters in your life and in your work. You stop working the assignment in front of you and you start measuring yourself against someone else's highlight reel. Then you look up and wonder, why is nothing working? Why does everything feel off? Because your eyes are not on your target anymore. Your attention got hijacked. Second, comparison creates a fake image of success and happiness. It paints this picture in your mind of what your life should look like, what your brand should look like, what your calling should look like. And the craziest part is this: sometimes that picture is not even what you want, but you start chasing it anyway because someone you respect is living that way or because it looks impressive online. That is how people end up building a life that looks successful and feels miserable. Third, comparison turns you into a copy machine, and that is where your creativity dies because you were not created to be a duplicate. You were created with a gift, a voice, a way of delivering truth that only you can deliver. Even if you are in the same industry as someone else, your flavor is different. Your story is different. Your perspective is different. There are people who will connect with you because of who you are, not because you sound like the person you admire. People do not come to watch an imitation, they come to experience you. Now, let me make this practical. How do you know you are in comparison? Here are a few signs. After you listen to the guru, the mentor, the creator you admire, you start beating yourself up. You start saying things like, I am never going to be like them. I am not that good. I do not speak like them. I do not have that following. Nobody wants what I have to say. That is comparison talking. Another sign is you start second guessing every move. God could be giving you ideas, downloads, direction, and you shut it down because you think only that person could pull that off. And you talk yourself out of your own obedience. Another sign is you lose your originality. You stop birthing content from your journey, your learning, your conviction, your life. Instead, you start searching online to see what everybody else is teaching, what everybody else is selling, what everybody else is posting, and you try to keep up. That is not creativity. That is anxiety with a marketing plan. And another sign is nothing flows naturally anymore. Everything feels forced. Everything feels heavy. Everything feels like work that does not even fit you. Life brings stress. Building a business brings stress. Growth brings stress. But the stress that comes from trying to be somebody else is unnecessary stress. That is self inflicted pressure and it will wear you out. Let me pause here for a minute. Sponsor break. Rosebud Journaling is an AI powered daily journal that gives you personalized feedback as you write. It helps you reflect deeper, recognize patterns, and stay consistent without staring at a blank page. Use it on your phone, tablet, or computer. It is not therapy and it is not life coaching. It is simply a tool you can use between sessions or while you are waiting for a coaching opening to process what is going on with more purpose. If you want to check it out, go to fayjoneslive.com/rosebud. Now let us get back to it. So how do you reconnect with your creativity after comparison has pulled you off course? I am going to give you a few things that actually work. First, unplug from the constant voices, unplug from the nonstop training, unplug from the daily intake of everybody else's opinions. Because if you are always consuming, you will eventually lose track of your own voice. Information overload does that. You start hearing everybody else so loudly that you cannot tell what is you, what is them, and what is God trying to show you. Second, journal. And I am not saying journal because it sounds nice. And I am saying journal because it reconnects you to your inner world. It helps you hear yourself again. It helps you process what you actually believe. It helps you separate conviction from insecurity. You can journal on paper or digitally. If you like typing, an app like Penzu can work. If you think better out loud, an app like Voice Diary can help you record your thoughts. The method is not the point. The point is that you get reconnected to you. Third, Act on new ideas quickly. The worst thing you can do is receive an idea, feel the spark, and then sit on it until it dies. Write the idea down, and if it feels like it is for now, start moving. You do not have to announce it publicly that second, but you do need to start executing. Start outlining it, start building it, start learning what you need to learn to make it real. Because movement pulls you back into creative flow. And when you are back in flow, you start hearing direction again. You start getting clarity again. Fourth, forgive yourself. Comparison comes with guilt. You realize you were copying, you realize you were insecure, you realize you were trying to fit a mold that is not yours, and then you beat yourself up. That guilt can spiral into discouragement, lack of motivation, and even depression. So do not camp there. Forgive yourself and come back to who you are. You have a gift in you. It did not disappear because you had a rough season. You were born with it. The purpose of your life is to discover it, develop it, and release it. And you do not get to release it while you are busy minimizing it. Fifth, find the root. This part matters. If you do not identify why you fell into comparison, you will repeat the cycle. For some people, it is insecurity. For others, it is fear of rejection. For others, it is a need to prove themselves. For others, it is trauma, and they learn to survive by blending in. Whatever it is, you have to tell the truth about it. For me, it was insecurity and a lack of trust in what God already put in me. Once I faced that, I stopped needing permission to be myself. And I started seeing myself less through people's opinions and more through God's design. That is where confidence is built. And let me say something that might challenge you. Self-confidence is not arrogance. Real confidence is humility because you are not worshiping yourself. You are acknowledging whose you are. You are honoring what God entrusted to you, and you are taking responsibility to steward it. When you refuse to release your gift because you are scared, you are not just blocking yourself, you are blocking the people who are waiting for what you carry. So here is my closing challenge. Kill the comparison. Put your eyes back on your assignment. Stop chasing somebody else's blueprint. Stop trying to sound like the person you admire. You do not need their voice, you need yours. And do not forget this. Every expert started as a beginner. Every confident woman you admire had to choose courage before she ever felt ready. Start where you are, build what you can, grow in your gift, and surround yourself with people who are not competing with you, but who are committed to becoming with you. The wrong people will turn everything into a competition. The right people will call you higher without trying to copy you, control you, or shrink you. Let me recap what we covered today. Comparison kills creativity because it steals your focus, distorts your definition of success, and pushes you into copying instead of creating. You know you are in comparison when you beat yourself up, second guess everything, lose your originality, and everything starts feeling forced. You reconnect by unplugging, journaling, acting on ideas quickly, forgiving yourself, and identifying the root. If this episode hit you, take 5 minutes today and write out the root question. Why do I compare? What am I afraid will happen if I do it my way? Then tell the truth and start moving forward again. Thanks for listening to the Becoming Her podcast. If you want more resources, go to fayejoneslive.com. I will see you in the next episode.